Gitai Peter Jenga, Kenya, that's two.
Muhammadiyah Khatibi, Iran.
Mutai Felix, 28, Kenya.
Kenya is facing growing pressure to explain how more than 20 former members of the Kenya Defense Forces KDF found their way into the Russian military. The shocking reports have sparked concerns in government circles and raised questions about the welfare of retired soldiers, possible human trafficking, and the country's diplomatic position in the Russia-Ukraine war.
Kazi tunaendelea vizuri. Ndio bro. Yaani anafikia unga kwa kazi. Hakuna kazi poa kama hii.
The story began circulating after a video appeared online showing a group of men said to be Kenyans, some allegedly former KDF officers dressed in Russian military uniforms and speaking proudly about serving in Russia's ongoing war against Ukraine. Their cheerful tone and open declaration that they preferred fighting for Russia over their home country sent shockwaves across social media and into government offices in Nairobi. At Statehouse, sources say President William Ruto called an urgent security meeting to address the matter. The president reportedly asked top military and intelligence officials to provide a full report on how ex-soldiers could end up fighting for a foreign army. The Kenya Defense Forces Command has also been asked to investigate possible recruitment networks that may be targeting veterans. While the video has not been independently verified, investigations by Kenyans and international media reveals a growing pattern of Kenyans being duped into joining Russian military ranks. Some victims believe they were signing up for legitimate security or logistics job abroad, only to end up in combat zones.
Gitai Peter Jenga, Kenya, that's two.
Muhammadiyah Khatibi, Iran.
Mutai Felix, 28, Kenya.
In late September, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations (DCI) arrested a man in Nairobi believed to be part of the syndicate recruiting Kenyans for military service in Russia. Detectives rescued 21 Kenyans from an apartment in Athi River where they were reportedly being processed for travel. According to investigators, the recruits were promised monthly salaries of up to 200,000 Kenya shillings and comfortable living conditions in Russia. They were charged between Kenya shillings 1.6 million and 2.3 million for visas, travel and accommodation. Money many of them borrowed or raised through family contributions.
What I'm sure about is that our client has not committed any known law in this country, because Kenyans are taken to Qatar, Kenyans are taken to Dubai, Kenyans are taken to Israel, Kenyans are taken all over to do work.
To ensure that he's brought to court and make sure that the advocates are not present to represent him.
This scam is far deeper than it first appeared. Some of those involved claim they were shown official-looking documents with Russian military seals and told they would receive dual citizenship once in Moscow. In reality, once they arrived, their passports and phones were confiscated and they were forced to sign documents written in Russian.
Didn't know it was a military job.
Kenya's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has since confirmed that several Kenyans have been irregularly conscripted into the Russian army. Principal Secretary Korir Singoei said the government is working with the international partners to repatriate citizens trapped in Russia. The ministry has also warned Kenyans against falling for online recruitment offers promising quick riches abroad. Legal complications are already emerging. The High Court in Nairobi recently barred the DCI and other agencies from accessing private medical records of 2 former KDF soldiers said to be among those serving in Russia, pending proper legal procedures. This move suggests that the story has more layers than initially thought, and that even ex-servicemen may have been misled or coerced.
They are victims and we need to take care of them. We need to also involve the secretariat that takes care of victims.
The scandal exposes uncomfortable truths about Kenya's military welfare system. Many retired officers struggle to adjust to civilian life, often facing unemployment, financial strain, and lack of support. Without clear reintegration programs or job opportunities, they become easy targets for foreign recruiters offering better pay. The fact that trained soldiers, people once entrusted with defending the nation, are now willing to risk their lives for another country should be a wake-up call for the government.
Kazi tunaendelea vizuri. Ndio bro. Yaani anatokea unga kwa kazi.
Hakuna kazi poa kama hii.
Kama tunalipa pesa hapa. Tuko hapa inshallah. Hizo story nyingine ni watu wako na story za mwanao.
Security analysts warn that the issue could have serious diplomatic consequences. Kenya has tried to maintain a neutral position in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, calling for peace and respect for international law. However, if Kenyan nationals are found fighting for Russia, it could strain relations with Ukraine and Western allies. It also raises questions about whether Kenya's intelligence system are capable of tracking the movement of former servicemen. There is also the legal question of mercenary activity. International law prohibits citizens from joining foreign conflicts without state authorization. Kenya, being a signatory of such treaties, could face scrutiny if it appears to be losing control of its former soldiers to foreign armies. For now, the Ruto administration must confront two realities. One, that Kenyans are desperate enough to risk war zones for better pay, and two, that criminal networks are exploiting the desperation. The DCI and the Ministry of Defense will have to move fast to dismantle the recruitment syndicates and secure the return of those stranded in Russia.
To ensure that he's brought to court and make sure that the advocates are not present to represent him, and we know that he's, by law he's required to also have an advocate, is also another gross violation of his rights.
But beyond the investigations and arrests, the government must also address the root cause: how Kenya treats its veterans. Without their pensions, healthcare, and employment support, more ex-soldiers could fall prey to similar traps. This scandal has peeled back the curtains of a silent crisis within Kenya's military community. The images of jubilant Kenyans fighting for Russia may have shocked the nation, but they are also a reflection of something deeper: a failure to value those who once served under the Kenyan flag. Unless the government acts decisively, the trend could grow, leaving Kenya not just embarrassed on the global stage, but also exposed at home.
Unafanya kama kazi kwaje kuona mwili kazi kwaje kila kitu iko bie bro. Kuna mtu analalamika huko anaandikia nini? Kazi tunaendelea vizuri. Ndio bro. Yaani anatokea unga kwa kazi.
Hakuna kazi poa kama hii.
Kama tunalipa pesa hapa. Tuko hapa inshallah. Hizo story nyingine ni watu wako na story za mwanao. Hizo story za mwanao.